Hey guys, Matt Bishop here. We are at the Steel Stacks here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, my hometown, and yours as well.
Mine as well.
I am here with one of the best up-and-coming singer-songwriters on the planet, folks, the one and only Erick Macek. Erick, great show tonight. It's fantastic.
Appreciate you coming out.
Absolutely, I appreciate you having me. So, tell me about your, well, I know, but for those that don't, tell us about your story a little bit. You have kind of a very unique story.
Man, where to start? I guess, I'm born and raised in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, obviously. My parents actually came from former Czechoslovakia, specifically Slovakia, came out here kind of to give us a better life. So this is where it all started for me. There was Southside Bethlehem, born and raised, grew up, pretty much ended up going to St. John Methodius, then over to Liberty, then over to Millersville. So everything was within the state, and then decided to be like, this music thing kind of caught on, and then boom. Pack a U-Haul, West Coasted out there, started a brand new career not really knowing anybody. And that's literally kind of how it started. 2005 was a specific year where I literally ended up really kind of picking up and doing it. So that's kind of where the start thing came, and then all of a sudden, California, just one show after another, and all of a sudden when the fan base grows, you think you got something going on, and all of a sudden you get nationally recognized with the show. Obviously, it's not that simple, but to keep the whole story kind of compact, it's like, the voice has really kind of exploded things for me on a national level. And then as soon as that kind of happened and it aired, I got an overwhelming kind of like, hey, when are you coming home? I'm like, all right, you know what, let me book a flight home, and just book a quick little tour, and here I am, playing for Steel Stacks, first time ever. I've never seen this building before.
Really? It's very nice. They did a good job.
I haven't been home for a while, so like I said, every time I come home, there's something that's changing. So it's nice to see some sort of growth.
Yeah, it's a great venue, for the arts to grow, and when people like you come, it certainly helps everybody get together to hear some fantastic music.
It was like a reunion. Not
even
fine. It was awesome.
You had people dancing in the back.
Yeah.
Talk to me about what the experience was like being on The Voice. It's arguably the biggest show on TV right now. It's, well up there with American Idol and America's Got Talent and all the other ones. What was it like walking out on that stage and kind of that moment where this is it?
It's kind of funny because I remember the moment distinctly. They film so much, and they take little, like, hey, do this, and then, do that, and then it's kind of like, hurry up and then wait. It's very much of like the production kind of aspect of it. But, mentally, it's very different. And I remember walking out on that stage, and everything was so silent that you're just like, is this really happening? And all of a sudden, there's 12 cameras. There's literally 12 cameras circling your head. And all of a sudden, I hear the drummer count in 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're like, that there it is. Like and it happens. And all of a sudden, you're like, there's a lot of times when you think about, 2 or 3 songs to get into a set, or you kind of get into the whole thing. But with The Voice, you don't. You have 90 seconds.
Yeah,
and that's completion.
it.
That's literally like you have to rock and roll right from the get-go. So it was a great experience. So like I said, they were great people. They're very professional. It's a very positive show. I know that the ratings went through the roof. We were in meetings where they were anticipating like 25 million people to tune in after the Super Bowl, and in all actuality, 37 million people tuned in.
Wow.
So it was a very successful show. So
you got a little bit of exposure.
Yeah, it's just, just a little bit.
You said on stage tonight that one of the judges said something to the effect of, you have a James Taylor thing going on. And I'm listening to your show, and I see that, and I see, a little bit of John Mayer, sprinkling some Dave Matthews. Who are your influences? Who have you kind of looked to and drawn inspiration from when you're writing your own music?
It came from a whole slew of things. Right now, like the whole kind of push, I've kind of done it long enough where even like fans just tell me, and the most thing that I've gotten, I've pretty much been Jason Mraz, Jack Johnson type of groove with G-Love, John Mayer swagger, with the vocal of James Taylor, and you kind of smash those together. And then I get the Dave Matthews ones, but like that's kind of how people describe me, I guess, to try to just kind of smash that together, and that's kind of who you have. And I see myself hopefully getting kind of a unique sound, but it's not really like trying anymore. I think with me, Dave Matthews was my first influence. And I really kind of did start it sounding like Dave Matthews when I started, because that's all I could listen to. And until now it's like I'm getting into blues and stuff that I like missed before, and it's just been even polka music was a huge influence of mine. Where I think about like 1, 4, 5 progressions, and you start. I don't read music. I play everything by ear, and I just really just kind of take what I think sounds good, melody and harmonies. All this stuff is and lyrics, you know, the older I get, the more I think mature I become with that. So there is like a sense of a formula that I'm starting to kind of realize, but I never want to just get comfortable with that. Like, you know, there's my new album, people are telling me there's hints of country now. And I'm sitting there going like, I never really listened to country that much, and I don't have, but at the same time, it's like I listen to so much. I think it's the society now. You have iPads, iPhones, and all this stuff that you have playlists. You're not really buying albums and saying, this is my favorite album of all time, and I'm listening to this 24/7. But you have one artist of this, one rap song here, then it goes to a country song, then it goes, like all these playlists that you get influenced by. So I think it's a tremendous. I mean, you kind of have to just roll with the punches, but you also just kind of go with the times. There's so much influence now from almost anything. But the further I go, one thing that never changes is the history. So, you know, you talk about the Robert Johnsons and B.B. Kings and all that kind of stuff. Like, I feel like I missed out on a lot of that stuff, and I'm catching up. I'm always playing catch up.
Yeah.
And it never runs out. There's always music.
Oh my God. Every day, all day. Talk to me about your latest record. It's out now, and what can fans expect from Erick Macek this time around on this album?
A lot more upbeat. I think one big thing that happened from like 2 albums ago, which I was very happy with, it was a lot more groove based, a lot more chill, a lot more violins, and I think with this one, there's a lot more upbeat. There's a lot more a mature sense of writing as well. And I think you get, like, you know, I have a horn section in one of the songs, and another one I have a banjo, and then another one I have violins again. So it's like you get, I mean, there's 15 songs in this album. I actually have a hidden track. I don't know if people know that, but it's like it's only 14. And then if you just let it play, then obviously I was trying like an old school tactic, just doing like a whole, you know, hidden track thing. But you can literally get a little bit of everything. I think there's going to be. I really wanted to make it like kind of an. I hate to say all-star, but just kind of a mix of almost every. I almost wanted to make it kind of my own playlist, you know. And so they're original songs, they're songs that I believe in, and I think there's something for everybody there.
Well, the album's called Colors May Change, right? Is the name of the album.
Change, yeah.
And I guess it sounds like you're kind of changing it up. You know, incorporating a lot of new things into the music.
It's exactly. There's a lot of things in that title, and it's like, you know, obviously colors can change, but there's also just mentality can change, lyrics can change, music. There's so much that it just fit right in. I mean, the title really just kind of explains what I thought about the album, so I was really stoked.
Moving forward, where's Erick Macek heading? I know you're going to Philly on Wednesday, but more long term, where are we going?
Long term, you know what? Actually, there's some talks about me going on a European tour.
Okay.
Some more things out there. So there's talks about Europe, and you know, I know a lot of people were excited because, you know, being from Slovak roots and stuff.
Yeah.
It's pretty ironic that even though I did everything here in the United States, eventually it's kind of getting to that point where going internationally. I've done stuff like Japan and European tours before, but it's just getting more serious and it's getting bigger. Everything's kind of getting bigger and better at this point. Obviously, I do want to do a national tour eventually. What I would love to do, and what we're going to try to do, is probably try to be a support for a bigger act. And that way you get in front of more people more often.
Dave Matthews going on tour this summer.
Ooh, I would love to. Let me know what his people are.
Can we like sign a?
He's hard to get a hold of.
We should sign a Facebook petition or something. We got to get something going.
I would love that, man. I don't know. I would love that. I really would.
I would love it too, and I'm waiting for the day when the record deal comes and there's a world tour and everything. I wish you all the best, my friend.
Man, thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Erick Macek. The new album, Colors May Change, is out now. Be sure to visit erickmacek.com for more details and check my friend out on Facebook. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem.